There we go. Yes, I like that. Okay, so this is the story time first. What it is, you guys, it is Yo Girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Drama Life Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painted for justice. Hoping, girl, to see justice before all face too black. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Okay, so I have the bad luck story time I wanted to tell y'all. I got two of them. So while we just out here, we're gonna go vlog the closing of a ride. So while we're out here, I was just gonna tell you a story time while I'm walking over to the area where that is. There's the cat in the hat. My little cousin, I'm sorry, my little nephew, Zay, he used to love that ride. We would have to ride it over and over and over, and it goes in circles. All the little kiddie rides seem to go in circles, and they give you headaches. But anyway, so Walmart. I usually use their whips. It's a payment system where you could pay a bill, and different bills you could do at Walmart, right? But previous to this, I used to be able to use a money order. That's how I always used to pay my rent. You know, I've been a renter for a long time. And it was only one place when I lived in a condo that to pay my rent, she used to have me like deposit the money into a bank account, which was crazy, but that's how she did it. Which that was kind of different, but it wasn't so bad. I wasn't really paying to pay the rent. Okay, so back when I was living in an apartment, I can't even think of what year it is. We used to have a drop box where you can get a check or money order, make it out, and then you could just drop it in a little drop box, or you can head into the office and bring your payment in. Like, that's what I like better than how they got things set up now. The only problem was they started closing the drop box because they claimed that people were fishing the money orders out. They always find some way to get over, right? People were fishing the money orders out and then rewriting the money orders, and your rent would not be paid. So they decided to close the lockbox, the little drop box or whatever. So then the next place that I went to, oh yeah, that was the condo that had the little deposit into the bank, right? And then after that, it ended up being this is Sue's Landing where we're at. It ended up being where you go online and pay. Now there's two options. You can pay online, right? But if you paid online, for some reason, for me, it would be like $18, and they called it a convenience fee. And I'm like, how convenient is that? To pay $18 to pay my rent, when actually I would rather just, but unless you could send it in, but it's hard to send your payment in because then you have to send it much early to make sure that they get it on time. So, we ain't really got time for that. So I couldn't do that. I didn't like doing that option, pay online, because, that's a lot, $18 just to pay my rent. And then it also, the apartment that I'm in charges for water. I have never had an apartment charge me for water. Usually water is free. So I'm gonna finish my story time before we go over there. So usually, yeah, I don't pay for water. So it started being a charge to pay your rent and the water and all of that. So if you would go to Walmart, because they have the bill pay, they have something called whips. So this is where we're gonna head over there to Poseidon's Fury in just a moment to check out the action. Today is the last day that they're gonna be open. So anyway, so with the whips, it was $3. It was $3. You could have a number that you put in, your account number, and you could just pay your bill. So $18 versus $3. I'm gonna go with the $3, right? And Walmart always seem to their customer service, like they usually, let me stand by the waterfall because I think that'd be nice. So their customer service, for some reason, it was always somebody that was slow. It felt like they would always pick the most slowest person, like almost on that movie Zootopia, where they went into the DMV and the sloths were over there, right? That's what it seemed like. Like they would pick the slowest people to do the customer service. So usually on rent day, I would have to pay it before I had work or whatever. And I knew I would have to wait because even though they were slow, sometimes it felt like they were just being slow just because they didn't feel like being bothered, right? So, I mean, and I can understand because I did work at the super center. And I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like they treated the associates that, that great. So if you're, you tend to act how you're being treated. So if you're not being treated great, you most times don't give the best service, right? So, but I, of course, was a exception to the rule. I don't do that to people just because I'm not being treated correctly. I don't, like on my job, I'm not mistreating other people or whatever. So, I wouldn't just slow around, but it felt like they would just slow around just because this is a nice little city area too, with all these rocks, right? But I felt like they would just slow around just because they're angry or, it's not enough people, they're being shorthanded and stuff like that. So I already knew I had to wait. Like, so it wasn't even a problem about waiting or whatever. Well, I've never been back here. Something else I've never done. But it was never a problem about waiting. So I would get there. But a lot of times I would give enough time, but they would get ridiculous with the waiting process to where I could leave 30 minutes early for work and now boom, I'm almost out of time because they're literally like just messing over your time. Like sometimes how I say the guards would do when we're trying to get into visitation, right? So I would go in and go to try to pay what they call whips. And one day I went in and that was when we were going on the cruise. And I literally did not get paid until that morning. So I could not, oh, look at that, y'all. Ooh, that's how I feel like I'm holding it. I actually drew something similar to that. I'll show y'all, link it in the description if I can find it on my Facebook. This girl had me paint something where it was the man holding up the family, like he was holding up. And it was actually a recreation of somebody else's art, which I've never done that, recreated another artist's piece, but she had me do it and kind of change and customize the colors, which was different, but I did it. And it turned out awesome or whatever. But okay, so whips, you go in, you put your number in, but then they stopped doing that. It started being that the number, if you use the number, it'll be $3. But if you use a barcode, which was simpler than putting the number in, it would be $3.99 to pay your rent. Now you see how now we're paying for stuff that should have been free, but now we're paying to pay the rent. That does not make sense to me, but that's the world that we live in, girl. And I gotta keep a watch out because we out here by the water, out here on the ocean, yes. And we in Florida, so you never know what could be creeping around here. So I don't want to get too close to these rocks, girl, or the little grass over there. But so I would use my whips, the $3. And then eventually one day when I went in to pay my rent, that would not work. So they had a barcode. Now y'all know I got the old iPhone 6, right? So the barcode, it would work sometimes and sometimes it would not work. And my storage was full. My phone is now put off of the internet and stuff like that. Like y'all know I can't access the internet and stuff because I have the older iPhone or whatever. And it's almost like they force you to upgrade at some point. They want you to upgrade. You cannot use your old devices. So I couldn't get the barcode off. And I was trying to just email it out so that I could utilize the barcode, because every time I would go back into my portal, now the apartments, they have portals and stuff like that where you will report your maintenance, and that might be a little bit better because now there's a trail and it's not just you're calling in and requesting maintenance. Now apartments tend to still ignore you and not come and fix nothing. Y'all know, if y'all got that too happening, give me a red heart emoji, girl. You know how you be reporting this is bro, that is bro, and they want that rent on time, but they don't want to come and fix nothing on time. Like literally got to beg them to come and fix what you're paying for every month, which makes no sense. But you know, this is the world we live in, right? The unjust world that we live in, because justice is I should get what I'm paying for. If I'm paying this, y'all should keep it up, keep it up, right? Okay, so end up that wouldn't work. So finally, and on that time when I was going on my cruise, and literally I was supposed to run in, pay, come out, get back to the house, because I got paid that morning. There's no way I would have paid the rent on the day that I'm going on a cruise, but I literally was broke, didn't have the money until that moment. So anyways, I get up there and they're like, your barcode's not working. I don't know, it's not scanning it. So the lady's like, can we put in the number? And I was like, no, when you put in the number, it rejects it. It will not take it. And it wouldn't let me. I kept trying to text it out to Money and have Money meet me up there at the Walmart, and that wouldn't work. I'm like, dang, it's like it sometimes, like I tell y'all, it feels like I just got some bad luck. Like it's always a challenge for me, right? So literally, finally I go home and I'm like, I have to pay it online. And I think I paid an extra $18 to pay the rent, because online it's way more, substantially more. Okay, so which was crazy. The next month, when I expected the barcode to do the same thing, it didn't. And it was literally, it seems like it only did that because I was on my way on a cruise. We could not miss our cruise. So it wouldn't just work because we didn't have a lot of time. And then the next month when I had plenty of time, it just goes through like that. The actual barcode really worked on the same phone. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And it started where it would message it out. I was able to screenshot it and save it, and yeah, I was able to screenshot and save it. Look at the little duckies over there in the water. Okay, so now let's fast forward. That was months ago. That was last December when we went on our cruise. So months later, I still have been using this. Isn't that crazy how these little vines are going? That's weird. That's different to me. But let's fast forward to this month when I got ready to pay my rent. So each month the barcode's been working fine. It's been no problems, right? Okay, so this time I go into Walmart and I'm like, I want to pay whips. I literally got the money, and then I think I was just getting off of work. So it's literally only less than an hour before I can, before their customer service closes at 7, right? Now, they say that they're supposed to take you at the customer service. If the money center closes, they're supposed to do those money transactions at the customer service. But y'all know that Super Center, that when you ask for what you're entitled to as a customer, they go off on you kind of, so you don't get what you should get as a customer, right? Just like when something's in the wrong spot, they're literally supposed to give it to you free, or they're supposed to knock off, I think, like $5 of it, and they will not do that. They refuse to do that. They'll get mad if you ask for it. Okay, so Money was like, "Well, you better hurry up because you got less than an hour to pay the rent." And I'm like, Money, it ain't gonna take no hour to pay no rent. Why would it take an hour to pay the rent? And Money's like, you better go ahead on and go. So I'm like, okay, let's go. That day, me and Money was hanging out after I got off of work. So I was going to go pay the rent. I get in line, right? And I have about 30 minutes. I got the barcode, it's up, my phone is charged. Usually my phone is going dead at the moment that I'm gonna need the barcode. It's always something. It is always something. So end up, we get up there, we get to the front, and I was trying to do a partial payment because I had half of it cash and I had half on my card. So I give them the cash first, and then I'm trying to do my card. And he's like, it's not going through. And we're like, I don't understand. Why is it not going through? I have money on my card. So I'm like, okay, let me make sure something crazy didn't happen. Or, you know, I just went out of town. Maybe they charged me some on that rental, and now I have a less of a balance than I thought I had, or something like that. So then Money tries her credit card. Her credit card will not work. It will not take the rest of the balance. Because I'm like, just do it and I'll pay you back. So then after that, Money tries her debit card. Now we all know that we all have funds on each one of these cards, and it just refuses to work. So I'm like, maybe it is just it gotta be this machine. So we're like, sir, we have money on the card. So he's like, well, just go to the ATM, right? Just go to the ATM, come back, and I'll take you back in line. But he was like, you got to get back in line. Now, usually, good customer service, why would you get back in line? You wait through line once. If it doesn't work, you come back up to the front. Even when I worked at the Supercenter, I would do that. The person already waited through the line. They have an issue. They go back, take care of whatever, and they come on back up to the front. He told us we had to get back in the line. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense, but I'm not going to argue with the man or whatever. So we go to the ATM. The ATM is not working. I'm like, this is crazy. So then I go over to the register to try to get cash back. And it literally just, I got a piece of gum to try to get cash back. It literally buys the gum, but still won't give me the cash back. I'm like, this is too freaking much. Like, this is too much happening. And all I literally want to do is just pay this rent. So finally, we wait back through the line. He's going slow as ever. Money is noticing that it looks like the lady in front of us is actually having the same problem with her debit card. Her debit card is not going through. So I even asked the lady as she passed by while we were still waiting on the man, because he was moving so like slow, like a sloth, right? Move like a sloth, like a sloth, move like a sloth. He was moving like a sloth, girl. So, what is that? Dang. Okay, so anyways, I asked the lady, which it looked like she might have been a manager, like she was a little bit over, because you know they had the second layer of manager and then the top store manager and this and that. So she looked like she might have been over the registers or whatever. So I was like, ma'am, we tried to use our card. I'm trying to pay my rent, and y'all like close in a little bit. And we tried all of our cards and it's not letting us pay it. Is it that you cannot pay the rent with credit? And she's like, yes, you can. So I'm like, okay, so then there's a problem because we have money on our cards and I'm not sure why it's not working. Is it possible to try me on another register? And she just flat out, no. And I'm looking at 2 other empty registers and she's like, no. We can't move you to another. I'm like, you cannot try. You can't do it at customer service. And she's like, no. And it's literally, I know she just did not want to help us. And it was that he just didn't want to help us. They literally could have helped, but they just didn't want to. You know what I'm saying? And there's some workers that would go and do their job and do what there is to, because it's not my fault that your machine's not working and you're not even trying it on another machine, right? So then it gets to me finally. I get back to the front of the line because he was moving so slow, like he just really didn't want to be there. And it was aggravating him to have to hang around and stay because more people were getting in line. He was telling people he was closed, but yet they were still getting in line and stuff like that. So I get to the front and I try to, again, do the transaction. I'm like, I'm going to try one more time with the cash first, and then we're gonna do the card. If it doesn't work like that, we're just gonna do the cash itself, and then possibly I have to figure out how to pay it online. And I was thinking possibly if it was online, if it was a lesser amount, that the fee would go down. That's what I was thinking. So money was going online, and she was trying to just go ahead and pay the balance before we get to the front, and then we just pay the other part with the cash, because I didn't have it all together. I had cash. You can't pay with cash online, like it's, so it's a whole thing. So money's like, no, it won't let me make a partial payment. You have to have the full amount. So I'm like, dang, it just never freaking fails. Look at these different leaves. Isn't that crazy? No, juju light trees. That's a different type of tree. But yeah, so it wouldn't do it online. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is too much. So finally he closes off. It's after 7, but he has to take whoever is in the little roped off area. So we get up to him, and we're like, we try it again. It won't take the card. So we're like, we just want to pay the amount in the cash. That's it. Just take the cash, make the cash payment so I can get rid of the cash, and then I can make the rest of the payment online. He does it, and he said the first time when he did it to try to do the little, the split payment, it used the barcode, right? Then when I'm like, okay, just pay the cash part, which Money had just said, just pay the cash part, don't even try it again. He said, oh, your barcode's locked up. It's not gonna work. I think we've killed it all the times we scanned it. I'm like, literally, had you moved over to another register, because I know it's the register, because we're checking our balances and we have money. They're just standing there making us look like we're foolish, or like, oh, you ain't got no money, but you steady want to insist that you got money, or like we're doing something wrong. When things are is too much going on and you study being denied, it makes it look like to the other customers that you're trying to do something wrong, or you don't have any money, like they broke, like, girl, get out the line, you ain't got no money. And I don't know, it just made me feel like, ugh. So then Money looks up on the little portal of the resident, and it says, look, you could pay it at other places, because Walmart was closing at that time. She was like, you could pay it at other places. It says CVS, Walgreens, or whatever. So I'm like, okay, let's just do that. Let's try to go to another place. So we get in, and we go to, I think, CVS, or was it Walgreens? I don't know. But at least now I know I can't pay my rent at CVS and Walgreens, so I will be going to those places rather than Walmart, because Walmart customer service just ain't there. I know it's a lot of other places who customer service ain't there, but Walmart, definitely, their customer service ain't there. So we get up there, we scan the barcode, and the lady's like, she's confused when we're saying we want to pay whips. She doesn't know what that is. It's looking like. So then she's like, oh, this barcode's not working. And when I look at it, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, literally, if I don't pay this rent before midnight, I'm going to get a $70 to $100 late fee. Like, it's ridiculous. When we could have just did the ways of the past and just a money order or something like that. That's crazy. All this online stuff is kind of too much for me sometimes. Sometimes I'd rather just do things like how we always did it, right? Okay, so I look at the barcode and I realize that it's a specific barcode for Walmart. It's specifically for Walmart because it has the little Walmart logo, which I always thought that Walmart logo, that new one, when they remodeled it or revised it, looks like an asterisk. And you know what an asterisk means? Like, girl, like they holding back something. It's something not printed, something not there. But it looks like an asterisk to me. But they say it's a sun, girl. But so I realized that each company has their own barcode. So for me to pay it at the Walgreens or the CVS, I literally would have to be able to download the barcode, which y'all know I can't because I cannot get on the internet. But for some reason, I think at Money's house I can, because when I tried to show y'all that it wouldn't connect to internet, it literally connected there. So maybe I'll try to download those two barcodes for next month or whatever. But yeah, so it was crazy. So finally we leave. I'm like, this is way too much. It's now 2 hours later. We were literally supposed to run out and then go do something else. I can't remember what we were gonna do. If we were going shopping for, I think we were shopping for Money's graduation. And what ended up happening is Money was like, at this point, I mean, the only way is to pay it online. So I just asked Money if she had enough altogether, gave her the money, and she did the transaction online, and she said, guess what, Mom? It only charged $3. I'm like, I know, well, $3 and some change. And I'm like, I know you kidding me. I know you kidding me. How did it only charge $3 and some change when every other time I would use the online, it would charge me an $18 to $20 convenience fee. And this time it charged me $3. I'm like, it was a headache. But then at the end, to try to find the silver lining, I said it must have done that so that I could just, so that it could show me that I don't have to go online to complete that transaction. I'm sorry, I don't have to go to the Walmart to complete that transaction. I could actually just go online. So maybe if all that headache hadn't happened, I wouldn't have known that I literally could just log in, pay the rent. So next time, next month, I know better, but that is my story about Everybody Hates Cadillac, the most, always happening. I do have another one about Money's graduation. There was too much going on then. But I'll talk to you guys later. We're going to go head over to Poseidon's Fury to say bye. All right, guys. It's your girl, Cadillac.